Hello everyone, and a happy Starlight to you all. It's during times like this that everyone should be coming together and spending the holidays with whatever persons they desire. Whether they be friends, family, co-workers, or all the above, it's important for us to be with those we care about in any way we see fit. If not to exchange presents, then to simply be there for one another and share in good company. Because while the decorations are colorful, the music cheery, and the gifts exciting, it's important to remember the true essence of the Starlight celebration. The world and reality itself can be cruel and strip away so much from us. But this celebration calls us to come together and remind ourselves that no matter how bad it gets, we're never truly alone. And if you spread happiness to others, that joy will eventually find its way right back to you. So, if you'll permit me to spend this holiday with you, if only for a moment, allow me to tell you a story of the first Starlight celebration. The traditions of this joyous holiday began in the early centuries of the Dragonsong War in the cold northern lands of Kurthus. While the entire war was brutal and bloody, these times were especially hard on the common folk and poor people of Ishgard. The Dravanian horde and their wrathful fire left thousands homeless and many more with broken families. Children were especially sensitive to the bitter cold of the winters in Kurthus, making it unbearable. But instead of leaving the orphans and displaced children to freeze in the loveless snow, Ishgardian knights would seek out these children and offer them a place in their warm camps and barracks. The Knights' Charter openly forbid this behavior, and the knights would have suffered great punishment for this transgression. But these men and women were clever and feigned ignorance by hiding the children under the bright red jackets that were part of their uniforms. This allowed the kids to eat well and sleep soundly during the starlit night, yet free to leave during the day. As the fighting during the war began to subside for a time, the rumors of knights granting asylum to random children was mostly forgotten and became little more than a suspicious tale. However, the children these knights cared for didn't forget and refused to let such a saintly kindness become a memory. After growing up, these children came together years later to honor these knights for their unconditional charity and benevolence. They all wore bright red robes that resembled the coats they were hidden under, and during the worst nights of winter, they spread out, bringing presents, kindness, and laughter to new children, reminding them that they need not feel alone, much like how they themselves were offered hope and happiness when they had nothing else. And yet, with Ishgard being devout followers of the goddess Halone, the Saint of Nymeia is championed as the bringer of revelry during this holiday. Well, there's a story behind that, too. It's said that one of the knight captains that caught his soldiers in the act simply laughed happily when he saw his knights sheltering children. He had a snowy white beard and a kind face, one that wouldn't betray the children to the cold, despite his position demanding it. Given his wisdom and understanding, he was associated with the goddess Nymeia, and eventually the story referred to him as the Saint of Nymeia. The children believe that the saint, now immortal and unseen, watches over them. Patiently, the saint waits to see if the children write letters to the goddess. The children come together and decorate a tree with ribbons and baubles. This marks the tree with joy so that the children may place their letters filled with their wishes for presents and love under the tree. They do so in hope that the Saint of Nymeia will see the tree and collect the letters beneath the branches. He will then carry the letters to the fifth heaven, directly to the goddess of fate. In so doing, Nymeia, in her motherly affection, will spin their desires and wishes into their future. All those who do the festive work of helping the children decorate the trees, send their letters, and pass out presents are known as the Saint's Little Helpers, much like how the Knights of Ishgard helped in the little ways they could to spread joy. Over the years, the Starlight celebration has become so well received and so well loved that it's become a national holiday for many city-states. Places like Ul'dah, Gridania, and Limsa Lominsa fill their streets with decorations to excite the children and pull up massive trees with radiant ornaments for letters to be left under. Little helpers of the Saint of Nymeia fill the streets, spreading cheer and happiness much like the knights of the story. Nowadays, the Starlight celebration is handled by the Adventurers Guild and all their associates. However, it's also true that the festivities always seem to have a mysterious benefactor. The children always cheer at this, claiming that it's the Saint of Nymeia himself who carries their letters and leaving them presents from the goddess. And that's how the story goes. While this tale has definitely been decorated for the purpose of pleasing the children of the realm, I'd say the best stories deserve a bit of embellishment. After all, the 7th Umbral Calamity and Bahamut's Wrath couldn't stop the city-states from holding the Starlight celebration. Far too eager are people to come together and laugh as they share drinks and treats with one another. Far too excited are the children at the thought of having their letters carried to Nymeia as she sits patiently in the 5th heaven. So I ask you, my friends, go forth and spend time with those close to you in whatever ways brings you joy. If not for yourself, do it for them, just like how you've chosen to spend part of your holiday with me. And I, for one, am so humbled that you chose to visit during this most festive time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, and a Merry Starlight to you all.